Now that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is announced, it seems like there's not much of a point to this series anymore. Every character is returning, Ridley is in the game, Ganondorf has a sword? How can we possibly hope to improve upon this perfection? That's what you might be thinking. If you were stupid! Who do you think knows better about Smash Bros.? The guy that created it? That's made these games for the past 20 years? Or me? A guy with next to no qualifications? The answer is obvious. This series isn't going anywhere. But before we continue, there's something I probably should have set straight earlier in this series. So let's quickly talk about how I want to see characters portrayed in Super Smash Bros. In my opinion, the best character designs we have are the ones that play like their original games. Mega Man is a good example of this. The way he jumps, walks, attacks, he plays as if you were playing a Mega Man game. That's how I feel the design direction should be for these characters. Not necessarily copying and pasting them, but trying to stay true to how they function in the games they come from. And as an example of how not to do this, Samus in particular is in a very awkward situation, since her major characteristics have to be spliced between two slots on the roster. Zero Suit Samus has her speed, her athletic abilities, but almost all of her weaponry is made up. On the flip side, regular Samus has all of the abilities you'd expect, but she's also slow, clunky. She moves like she is constantly underwater. This galactic bounty hunter needs a complete redesign, and to do that, I want to achieve 4 goals. First, combine Samus and Zero Suit Samus into a single character to make her play the way she's supposed to. It may have made sense for her to be this way when there were only 12 slots on the roster. You have to have a variety of playstyles after all. But the roster has, sextupled since then? Good grief. We clearly don't need this anymore. Second, rework her abilities to better fit the fantasy of playing as Samus. When I'm looking at a character, the first question I ask myself is, could I see this character doing that? And while Samus definitely has no trouble punching or kicking people, I have a hard time believing she would when she has a gun. I'm not saying that she can't kick people, but throw in some electrical effects or something to make it more believable why she'd bother in the first place. Third, implement some form of swapping between different weapons. It's one of the more interesting mechanics of the Metroid series, one that would make Samus more exciting and give us way more room to draw material for her moveset. Following that train of thought, better utilize the Morph Ball. Because this is kinda lame. Let's get the easy one out of the way. Samus's physics are all wrong. Smash has created this bizarre canon where Samus's suit is weighing her down, holding her back from being the acrobatic fighter that Zero Suit Samus is, which is absurd. Samus's suit doesn't hold her back, it enhances her to greater heights. She also jumps around like gravity forgot to affect her properly, and that's just silly. So we're going to blend the stats of both Samuses together, giving her a good speed boost and maybe toning down how heavy she is in order to compensate. As for her abilities, I want to start with her neutral B, as it will be integral to the rest of her moveset. It is now the missile launcher, but it doesn't fire missiles. It simply does this. You see, Samus has always had 2 major forms of attack, beams and missiles. So logically, those should be her major forms of attack in Smash. Although here I'm going to take some creative liberties and change that to be switching between energy and explosive-based attacks. Here are some examples of what I mean. Her jab now functions like Mega Man's, firing a short-range projectile that she can use while moving. But in explosive mode, this has her shooting weaker versions of her old missiles, which fire slower and deal more damage. How about her side smash? The energy version would be the melee counter from Samus Returns. Throw a few electric effects on that for thematic purposes. And her explosive version is where the super missile ended up. This works the same as it used to in Smash, but now with the damage and knockback of the old charge shot. Probably with a very slow startup before rocketing forward to prevent it from being too overpowered. The rest of her tilts, smashes, and aerials would function in similar ways. The energy attacks would be quicker combo moves, while the explosive attacks would have longer range, be used for zoning away opponents or to finish them off. Maybe throw in the speed booster as a new side special, and this may be going too far, but what if the screw attack was part of her basic jump? Give her a multi-jump that functions like Bayonetta's up special and replace the old screw attack with the Shine Spark. That might be a bit too overpowered. And don't worry, just because she's using beams and explosives now, doesn't mean all of her abilities are projectiles. Think of it like Samus's forward air, or Zero Suit Samus's neutral air, or pretty much all of the Mii Gunner. It's very easy to make melee attacks without having your fighter actually kick something. We've already turned Samus into a far more interesting fighter, but let's take that a step further with the Morph Ball. The Morph Ball is Samus's new down special. Instead of just dropping a bomb, she will curl into a ball and stay that way. Her neutral special in this state is a weaker version of the bomb, which she can now lay 3 of in quick succession. Her side special becomes the Boost Ball, a chargeable ability that sends Samus hurtling in the direction of your choosing, and her up special activates the Spider Ball, causing Samus to magnetically attach to nearby surfaces for a short time. This feels right. This feels like Samus, a quick, versatile bounty hunter who switches between whatever arsenal best fits her situation. Now while I've got some adventure mode slides playing in the background, let me break down how this series is going to continue from now on. I like being able to focus on a single character like I did here and with Ridley. It streamlines my thought process, and makes these faster to make. So I'll be making all of these into individual character videos, and throw all the clones, stages, and items and such into their own videos. Unless it's a series that only has a single potential character I want to talk about, like Golden Sun, or The Wonderful 101, or Splatoon, in which case I'll keep everything in a single video. Sound good? Of course it does. I'll see you next time, where we'll be taking a look at one of my favorite characters from a beloved series.
Hi, I'm Daisy!
Oh god, no!